to what is happening with the Indian rupee, where India, it seems, has gotten its Christmas present a little early. It's a sort of a Christmas present that India can unbox next year. It's being said that the rupee, which is on a bit of an upward surge after having taken a fair bit of a beating over the last few months, and the currency is on course for its best quarter since 2017. Now, the rally is expected to run well into the new year, and during much of this year, elevated energy costs, that is the increased cost in terms of crude, and also a strong dollar had combined to make rupee Asia's worst performer. But a slump in the crude oil prices and also a slowdown in the pace of the tightening by the Federal Reserve means that the rupee would actually resume its winning ways, hopefully in the year 2019. Now, the rupee jumped up by as much as about 2.1% over Monday and Tuesday alone, and this, of course, is being seen as welcome news as political uncertainty looms large over India, which is heading into its general elections. And, of course, the crucial factor that needs to be looked out for are the crude prices, which actually have plummeted in the last 6 months. All right, now for more on this, we are joined in by my colleague Krishna Kumar. Good afternoon to you, Krishna Kumar. This is some bit of good news which is coming in terms of what is happening with the Indian rupee, where just a few months ago it was said that the Indian rupee is the worst performing currency in Asia, and now we are looking at another report which says that the year 2019 will actually be a complete bit of a turnaround, where the Indian currency, the Indian rupee, will be one of the best performers.
Well, to start things off, that entire projection, Saleh, I have to say, is more like, you can't go any lower than what it's been for the year 2018, for the year, for the rupee, worst performing currency in Asia, etc., etc. It's been a really tough time. And as you rightly said, a bit of a Christmas present. But keep in mind, all of these projections of 2019 set to be the best year for the rupee, in which rupee is set to be the top performer, is based on factors that are both internal, that's based on what's happening in India, and what's happening externally. For all the talk of the way the rupee has performed in the last few days and how it's set to be the best performing currency in the quarter, that is because of a couple of things. One is the fact that the crude oil prices have sort of been held stable by the crude oil producing nations for now. That is the short term, that's the near term. And that's always good news for the rupee, because we're going to spend that much less rupee converting into dollars and buying crude oil from abroad. So, the rupee will be boosted by the fact that crude oil prices are not set to shoot up in the near term, at least, and that's the reason why you've seen the way the rupee is performed in the near term. Apart from that, what also people have to keep in mind is the fact that the Indian Central Bank, that is the Reserve Bank of India, has infused tens of thousands of crores of liquidity into the system, given it to the government, and they've been buying dollars in what is called as an open market operation, as in it's the Central Bank of India that's buying dollars with rupee, so that the rupee holds its position. That's what is happening right now. As far as 2019 is concerned, now analysts say that in the year 2019, rupee will end at 71 rupees 14 paise against the dollar by the end of 2019. And that's based on a few projections. One is the fact that crude oil prices will remain same, apart from the fact that the US Federal Reserve was planning to hike interest rates 3 times next year. And then now they've said that it's not going to be 3 times, it's only going to be 2 times. That's again good for the rupee. Apart from that, local factors like the inflation in India has sort of tapered off. It's not at stratospheric levels, so that's good news already. Crude oil prices are stable, and then you have the US Federal Reserve. So all of these put together. And then comes the political scenario, Saleh, because these projections of rupee becoming the top performer of 2019 also involves a political scenario in India remaining stable. The analysts say, and they're expecting, that it will be the Bharatiya Janata Party-led government that will come back to power this time around with a reduced majority with the help of coalition. So all of these factors put together is the reason why these projections have been made.
Absolutely, indeed. Now, it is a projection, it is a Christmas present, but India will have to unbox it next year. But if I could just ask you a bit of a speculative question here, Krishna. It's being said that it will be one of the best performing currencies next year, but how will it compare with the dollar, let's say, by December 2019?
Well, the dollar is going to have its fair share of trouble in the year 2019. And, the fact that the rupee is expected to strengthen against the US dollar is also based on the projection that the US dollar is not going to strengthen much further. It's going to be weakened, as compared to the way it has been for the year 2018. So this entire projection of rupee doing well is based on the fact that the dollar is not going to go through the roof in the year 2019, because the US economy is dealing with its own fair share of issues, and that's the reason why all all eyes are on the US Federal Reserve. In fact, they just hiked rates by 25 basis points. That's the reason why you saw the rupee, after hitting 70 rupees 40 paise against the US dollar, is now back up at 70 rupees 52 paise. So in that sense, it's going to be interesting to see what are the routes that the rupee is going to take to become the top performer in the year 2019 and vis-a-vis the dollar.
I think that's very speculative. We'll have to leave it there. Thank you very, very much indeed, Krishna Kumar, for joining us and getting us the latest on this story, where it is a bit of a shot in the arm for the present government, where Indian rupee is expected next year